Hey everyone! Before we dive into this story, please consider subscribing to my channel for more exciting content like this. At the elegant brunch held at the country club, champagne flutes clinked as my sister Emily practically radiated joy. Our father, with a proud smile, passed a small velvet box across the pristine tablecloth. Inside were the keys to the stunning seaside villa, 3 bedrooms, steps from the shore, with breathtaking million-dollar views. It had been our family's cherished treasure for 2 generations. "Well done, darling," Mom said, her voice thick with emotion as she wiped a tear. "Your MBA is a huge achievement. This is yours." Emily lifted the keys delicately as if they were priceless jewels. "I can't believe it's mine, the villa," she gasped. Dad interjected gently. "It's still held in the family trust, but you'll have exclusive use of it. Primary residency is yours." My younger brother James raised his orange juice in a toast to Emily's prestigious business degree and her incredible new home. The table erupted in cheers. Uncles, aunts, and cousins all gathered to celebrate Emily's graduation and this extraordinary gift. I raised my glass of sparkling water with a polite smile and took a sip. "What about you, Laura?" Aunt Margaret asked, turning to me. "What did you get for your graduation?" The table hushed briefly. "We had a lovely dinner," Mom said quickly. "We were so proud." That was 7 years ago. I'd earned my finance degree from a state university. No grand celebration, no villa, just a meal at a chain restaurant and a card with $500. Meanwhile, Emily's private university MBA, fully funded by our parents, now came with a multi-million-dollar property. "It's different circumstances," Dad said firmly, closing the topic. "Emily's joining the family company. She'll need a space to host clients, throw networking parties. The villa's a career asset." Emily, already swiping through her phone, chimed in, "I'm thinking renovations, modern kitchen, bigger deck, chic furniture. I want to host my first client event next month." "Whatever you need, sweetheart," Mom said. "We've budgeted for updates. Make it your own." I glanced at my phone under the table. 11:47 a.m. 13 minutes until the trust activated. 13 minutes until everything shifted. My phone had been buzzing all morning. Updates from my lawyer, financial advisor, and trust manager. Years of meticulous planning were about to come to fruition in ways my family couldn't fathom. "Laura, you seem distracted," Emily said, her tone laced with the subtle superiority she'd mastered. "I know it's tough seeing me get something so amazing, but I worked hard for this degree. Not everyone puts in that effort." I'd worked full-time through college, graduated summa cum laude, and built a thriving career in investment management that left me financially secure. Emily, on the other hand, had studied full-time on our parents' dime, earned average grades, and landed a junior role at Dad's real estate firm, a role she didn't have to compete for. "I'm thrilled for you," I said sincerely. "Let her have the villa." In 13 minutes, she'd see just how thrilled I was. "Let's plan the move-in party," Mom said, flipping open her planner. "Next Saturday, we can help Emily settle in and have a beachside barbecue." "I've hired professional movers," Emily said. "No need for family to lug my custom furniture, but a barbecue sounds perfect. I want everyone to see the place once it's set up." James nudged me. "You'll come, right?" "Wouldn't miss it," I replied. Dad's phone rang. He glanced at it, frowned, and stepped out onto the terrace, pacing with a puzzled look. Mom noticed too. "What's wrong with him?" she murmured. My phone buzzed, a text from my lawyer, trust activation complete. "All properties now under your control. Your grandparents would be proud." 11:59 a.m. Right on time. Dad returned, his face ashen. "Laura, we need to talk." "Alone?" The table fell silent. "Is something wrong?" Mom asked. "I'm not sure," Dad said tightly. We moved to a quiet corner of the dining room. He showed me an email from the trust administrator. "It says the Coastal Holdings Trust has been activated and transferred to a primary beneficiary. You control it now." "That's impossible." "It's correct," I said calmly. "But that trust includes the villa, the mountain lodge, the downtown rentals, worth at least $15 million. "How?" "Grandma and Grandpa set clear rules," I explained. "The trust transfers to the eldest grandchild at 30. I turned 30 last month. They passed when you were 15. How did you know? Grandma told me before she died. She gave me letters, one at 18, one at 25, and one at 30 with instructions and guidance. Dad's hand trembled. The villa's in that trust. You can't take it from Emily. We promised her. You promised something you didn't own. The trust has always had conditions. No one checked the fine print. We returned to the table, where tension hung thick. What's happening? Mom asked. Dad sank into his chair. There's an issue with the villa. What issue? Emily snapped. I opened the trust documents on my phone. The villa, the mountain lodge, and 6 commercial properties are part of the Coastal Holdings Trust. As of noon today, I'm the sole trustee with full control. Silence gripped the room. Emily gave a brittle laugh. That's absurd. The villa's a family home. It's a trust asset, I corrected, managed by a corporate trustee until the conditions were met. They were met today. Mom was skimming her phone. I'm reading the trust documents. How did I miss this? Because Dad handled the finances and didn't look closely, I said. The trust prevents impulsive gifts to preserve family wealth. You're saying Grandma and Grandpa didn't trust me? Dad's face flushed. They loved you, but knew you saw money differently. They wanted someone with financial discipline to manage it. Emily slammed her hand down. You can't do this. Dad promised me that house. He promised what he couldn't deliver. The trust rules are clear. I take control at 30. I didn't write them, Grandma and Grandpa did. Then change them, Emily demanded. You control it now. Give me the house. The trust restricts how assets are distributed. They're for the benefit of all family members, now and in the future. That's just you hoarding it all, Emily spat. No, it's ensuring the properties are maintained, rented fairly, and the income reinvested for the family's long-term benefit. Mom, still reading, grew pale. The villa earns $8,000 a month in rent when not in use. The commercial properties bring in over $40,000 monthly. Where's that money gone? Into the trust, I said. For maintenance, taxes, and growth. The trust is worth $18 million now, up from $12 million when they passed. $18 million, Emily whispered. And you're keeping it? I'm managing it. You can still use the villa, Emily. Just book it through the property manager and pay the family rate. Pay for my own family's house? A subsidized rate, like everyone else. Dad spoke up. This will tear us apart. No, Dad. Your unchecked promise to Emily would have. I'm just enforcing rules set 15 years ago. Aunt Margaret spoke softly. I remember Mom and Dad setting up that trust. They wanted the properties safe, not given away impulsively. Exactly, I said. Grandpa built this portfolio through decades of smart investing. He didn't want it split up or handed out carelessly. So you'll lord it over us? Emily's tone was bitter. I'll manage it responsibly, keep it maintained, ensure it grows, and make it available fairly. That's my role. You could have warned us, Mom said quietly. I did. I emailed Dad 3 months ago when the trust administrator notified me. I suggested he review the documents before promising anything. He didn't reply. Dad paled. I thought it was a scam email. It was from their estate attorney. I did my part. You didn't. Emily stood, her chair screeching. You're ruining my graduation with this power grab. I'm clarifying reality versus what you were told, I said. Keep your villa, she snapped, grabbing her bag. I don't need it or this family. She stormed out, Mom trailing behind. The table sat in uneasy silence. James cleared his throat. Can I still book the lodge for ski trips? Yes. Book it. Pay the family rate. Follow the rules. Same as always. There were always rules, I added. They just weren't enforced. That's changing. Dad stared at his plate. Your grandmother would be ashamed. Actually, her final letter said she knew this would be tough, but trusted me to honor her wishes, even if you tried to guilt me. She predicted you'd say that. Aunt Margaret smiled faintly. That's Mom. She loved you, David, but knew your flaws. $18 million, Dad muttered. And you're running it alone? With a property manager, accountant, lawyer, and advisor. I'm overseeing, not solo. What's in it for you, he asked. A 3% management fee. About $43,000 a year. Plus, I use the properties like everyone else. Grandma and Grandpa wanted this to be a family duty, not a windfall. Dad stood. I'm calling my lawyer. Have them read the documents. It's airtight. After he left, Uncle Robert spoke. Why not say something sooner? I tried. Email. Thanksgiving. Even told Emily to wait on villa plans. No one listened. You knew this would humiliate Emily, Aunt Margaret said gently. She humiliated herself by assuming ownership without proof. She's 26 with an MBA. She should know better. James checked his phone. The villa rents for $8,000 a month in peak season, $5,000 off-season. About $75,000 a year after costs. You'll keep renting it. Yes, it's an investment. Family can book it, pausing the rental income, but otherwise, it earns for the trust. That's fair, James said. It's what they wanted. My phone buzzed, a text from the manager, security codes updated. Booking set. Guidance on villa? I replied, keep it on rental schedule. Family pays standard rate. No exceptions. Some relatives murmured I was right, that Grandma and Grandpa would approve. But Emily's sharp words and Mom's pained look lingered as I drove to my modest townhouse, the one I'd earned myself. That night, Dad called. My lawyer says you're right. It's incontestable. I know. Emily won't speak to me. She's humiliated. You made a promise you couldn't keep. I warned you. I didn't think you had this authority. I saw you as the kid with a $500 card. They trusted me more than you to protect this. So what now? I manage the properties by the rules. Anyone can book them fairly. Emily, too. She'll never forgive you. Maybe not. But I'm honoring Grandma and Grandpa, not chasing approval. Dad paused, then asked, what else was in her letter? That this would be hard, that family would push back, that I had to safeguard the legacy and stand firm. She was right about you, he said quietly. Later, I reread Grandma's last letter. Don't let guilt sway you. We built this for the future, not to squander. You're the guardian. Stay strong. I stayed strong. Emily got nothing. I got the responsibility. And I knew Grandma was smiling.